Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Andrian Rosidin. I'm from class 7A, and today I will present my research proposal titled An Analysis of Students' Difficulties in Speaking English at 10th grade of SMAN 3 Kabupaten Tangerang. Okay, so let's start the presentation. Chapter 1 is Introduction. The identification of the problems that I found is students encounter difficulties in speaking English, especially when they are asked to speak in public. And these difficulties are caused by the factor that are varying from one student to another. Based on this identification, I formulate two research questions. The first one is, what are the difficulties that students face in speaking English? And the second one is, what are the factors for these difficulties that students face in speaking English? The objective of this research, the first one is to find out and analyze students' difficulties in speaking English. And the second one is to find out and analyze the causes of students' difficulties in speaking English. Chapter 2 is literature review. There are many definitions of speaking. I picked from Cheney in 1998. He wrote that speaking is a process of making and giving meaning in a variety of contexts, either by the use of verbal or nonverbal symbols. And there are many difficulties that students may face. And I pick lack of vocabulary, lack of confidence and anxiety, and lack of motivation. Chapter 3 is research methodology. This research design is use qualitative descriptive, and the goal of qualitative descriptive is to summarize and explain some phenomena that happen to individuals or group of individuals. The subject for this research is students in 10th grade of SMAN 3 Kabupaten Tangerang, and the technique that I use to collect data are, the first one is observation. Observation is used to observe the real life situation when students learn English in the class. And then the second one is questionnaire. Questionnaire is used to collect data to find out the difficulties and the factors of these difficulties that students encountered in speaking English. And then the last one is interview. Interview is used to dig deeper, more information about the difficulties and the factors that students face. Interview is also used to support data from observation and questionnaire. And then the last one is the technique that I use to analyze the data. The first one is identification. In identification, I identified the students' difficulties in speaking English and the factors of these difficulties. And then the data that I use for this step is the questionnaire. And then the second one is classification. In this step, I classified students' difficulties in some categories. And then the factors for these difficulties too, I will classify into some categories too. And the last one is description. In this step, I will describe and summarize what are the difficulties that students face in speaking English, and then the causes, the factors of these difficulties. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.